You're telling about your introduction and your professional career from the beginning to the end. I'm sure you won't quit your job now. Okay, you're not in the sense of changing the direction of your profession. Okay, isn't it, Panta sir? You won't be you won't involve in the field of politics, I'm sure. Okay, you won't involve in the field of other kind of social more work. I'm not sure you also get involvement in the field of medicine. Okay, so you teachers also so like also this is a priority, I guess. This is my simple concept.
Oh, sorry.
Hello. Oh, okay. Hello. Good morning, Commando. How are you? यो खाइलाग्दै त यो बिचमा बसे पनि कति राम्रो हुन्थ्यो होला यो Okay, so that was all about the introduction, yourself, right? And I'm telling you something very interesting questions generated in the United States of America. So the question says, I cannot live without my 7 letters. What does that mean? Come on. I cannot live without my 7 letters. What does that mean?
English.
Huh?
English.
Oh, how many letters in the word English? Right there. English. Okay, you're very tricky. Yeah, I know. English 7 letters, right? Teachers. How many letters in the word teachers?
7.
Right there. Teachers also. You can write teachers. Teachers open 7 letters. Any others? Farmers. Farmers also letters. How many letters in the word farmer? 6. Farmers, if you make it plural.
7.
Okay, 7. Farmers will let us then. Students, how many letters in the word is students?
Children.
Singular 7.
Yes.
Student.
Children.
Children, how many letters in the children?
8.
8. Oh, no. I'm saying 7 letters.
Yeah.
Look, without. How many letters in the word without?
Without 7.
7. And letters, how many letters are there in the word letters?
7. 1. 7.
7. How many letters are there in the word playing? How many letters are there in the word brother, father, mother? I think 7. Okay. But this is a little bit different. It doesn't mean that you will be making sentences and making vocabularies there. No. So the right answer is, come on. Mom mero Srimati bina priyamika jana bacha sakदैन.
Very interesting.
Right? Very interesting. So can you live? Oh, he has no beloved.
Without the beloved, then how can I alive in this world? Sure, I beloved.
So anyway, that's one perspective. But my perspective was this activity. This sentence was written by Toni Morrison, American novelist, and this sentence is taken from the famous novel from the Beloved. And she says, I cannot live without my 7 letters in my life. And I'm connecting this activity to the language class. And you can make them, hello, I cannot live without my 5 letters. Write them now. What is the 5 letters word? I cannot live without my 4 letters. Write that. I cannot live without my 7 letters. Write that. And they at least discuss and write that.
Sir, one thing, sir. The word is beloved,
Yeah.
but there was a picture of a child.
Oh yeah, come on, see.
There is child.
Yeah. And this picture describes about the command exciting your interest. See the picture, raising your interest. And the child is really excited. Right? So, innovation. My focus was on innovation. I'm sure you can learn a lot of things. You can teach a lot of things there. You are already in a master's degree holder. You are already in the position of teaching English from the different struggle stories. But the question is, or issue is, innovative teaching. I'm telling you this thing from, the training begins. Okay. So it was a kind of warming up activity, right? So talking about language, what do you understand by language? It's very clear to understand the combination of 4 skills consists of language learning. So how you learn the language is all the next phenomenon. How animals speak, how animals learn the language, another stretch. But there is a process of spoken and written manifestation. How you were able to read and write alphabets in English and Nepali? Can you remember your story? How were you able to read and write English alphabet, apple to zebra? How? So that's the process of language learning. Okay. So now it's a very interesting topic. Teaching English in Nepal. English is the language of the United Nations. English is the language of the United Nations. And English is the language of different incentives. And English is the language of British and American. And English is our second language, an international language. And English is our foreign language. And English is the language for academics. Got it? English is the language for academics because it's been taught from nursery to university level. You need to pass English. How do you pass the English? It's a great question. But you are passed. Right? So the English is the language for academics. So in Nepal, English is or English will be the language for all. If you go to Kathmandu or Pokhara or Chitwan, any part of the city, a single tourist guide can speak English rather than you and rather than my English. Why that? How did he or how did she speak, learn language, English that way? How? Practice. He cannot write, but he speaks English well. What's the issue? It's all about the competency, speaking and reading. He may not be able to read, he may not be able to write, but he speaks a lot, proficiently speaking English. Oh my God. I cannot speak with these people. Okay? So, status of English language teaching in Nepal. English teaching in Nepal started in 1854. Okay? When Janga Bahadur Rana was able to return from the United Kingdom, he sat down and established Darbar High School or Thabat Ali School. And from that period of time, the English teaching and English education system was started. And from 1854 to now, I think you can get a lot of differences. and English is for economic incentives. Many incentives are there. English for educational incentives means you need to pass English, you need to pass IELTS, you need to pass Israel best examination test, you need to pass other like officers of civil service commission. Pass, wherever you go, you need to talk about the grammar, you need to talk about the article, everything. It's all about the education incentives and mass media incentives. If you are a journalist like him,
I am also a journalist.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
good.
journalist of Bhojpuri Times.
Oh, you're there. I see.
Yeah.
Good. And coming to that point, travel and tourism. For example, who knows that you will be traveling to Singapore in the days to come? Who will know that? You'll be traveling to Japan. Who will know that? Of course, you are the one who can travel across the country and across the globe. And that time, you'll be speaking in English or you'll be speaking in Nepali. Hello, sir, म कतार जाने हो, सिंगापुर जाने हो भनेर हुन्छ कि this is Falano representing Nepal and attending the international conference in Singapore. See, welcome to Singapore. What's that? It's all about the travel language. That means you need to speak in English with that people, right? And English in a higher perspective, higher education perspective, 1918, when Trichandra College was started there. And right after teaching English in Nepal, and there are two issues emerge. One is teaching language or teaching linguistics. Somebody says pure linguistics, but somebody say language education. There are two debates. Whether you choose M.Ed, B.Ed, I.Ed or PhD, English education, this is all about the language education. This is not about the linguistic, I guess. Of course, yes, the part of linguistics, but the pedagogy, English language teaching is part of pedagogical teaching. This doesn't mean that you don't need to know about the linguistics. Language and linguistics go side by side. Without linguistic principles, you cannot get the language principles. Okay? So these two themes were introduced in Nepal. Okay? Talking about the language learning process, I think environment takes plays important role. Like situation takes place in very important role. Okay? Like interpersonal dynamics. Engagement between learner and the environment. What environment and what learner context. I told you yesterday about the English language learning in Jumla and English language learning in Kathmandu. Very different. That he was telling me about the lingua franca, dialect. It's very important things. Okay? That the question is about in-ears and confirmed classroom-based research. That is the way to understand ecological practices in Nepal. Okay? Our schools are ecological context. Teaching materials are sources for learning. All right? And community is helpful to participate the learners. Nothing more than that. And your family